Allow yourself to learn from others. And I cannot stress that enough. I think too many of us are trying to go through life to prove things on our own. So learning doesn't always come from your own experience. And it also doesn't always come from active learning, like where you are asking questions or maybe you are in class. Okay. So one of the ways that of learning that I have mastered for quite a while now is just from observing people. Observe people in terms of how they move, what they do, what winning people, like people who win, what are the things that they do versus the people who are unsuccessful in life and don't win. Yeah, it's very important. And also hang around older people. I know when you're in your 20s and 30s, you want to hang around people who are your own age, even in your 40s. But what that tends to create is groupthink, because you guys all think the same, you do the same things. Because of FOMO, you want to be doing the same things. And so it creates this thing called groupthink, where you are thinking the same. But one of the things that made me prosper in certain areas of my life is that from a young age, I would say even my teens, I was willing to spend a lot of time with older people. And I know with when you're youth and you're young, yeah, you have your gripes about older people, but know what you are getting from them. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and I learned about life from her, what to expect from marriage and a husband. She used to actually get on our case, myself and my other cousin sisters, about the fact that we are spinsters. Like, she got married at 16, so by the time we were 16, she was always like, yeah, but you should be getting married now, and whatever the case may be. And we were like, we are like, come on, it's a different generation now. We're not going to be getting married at 16. But what I gleaned from her is that she had a lot of life knowledge. So I would listen to her even as she was chastising us for not having boyfriends and things like that. Because she would tell me, like, okay, this is how a husband or a man should be treating you. If you want a long marriage like I have, this is what you should expect. Look for these kind of behaviors. And so I learned from that spending time and learning from others, being willing to spend time with older people to learn from them, was something very, very valuable. So even now, as I'm stepping into my 50s, I mean, in my 30s already, I was hanging out with people in their 50s. And so in my 40s, I've got friends who are in their 60s. And I still hang out with, my mother when she's with her friends, because I listen to their conversations, because I need to also know, what are their trials, what are their tribulations, what are their triumphs, what are the things that they are going through, so that when I get there, I have an inkling of an idea of what's happening and how to even respond to those kind of challenges. I still spent, when I got married, I spent a lot of time with my mom-in-law. I still do. I used to spend time with her friends, as the new Makoti, because I needed to understand what, rata they had. But even as they were having fun, I was actually having quite a lot of fun just hearing their stories and how my mom-in-law was when she was younger. It was cool. I thought that was really cool. But in as much as it was fun, I was also learning. I was gleaning a lot of knowledge from them. So be prepared to learn from others, because when you learn from others, how they move, what they've experienced, what people who win do, what people who lose in life, how they respond to life, it prevents a lot of heartache. And it can actually also quantum leap your successes as well, because you learn about certain potholes in life that you look out for, how to avoid them, how to skip even certain processes where they had to go through a long journey to get over certain hurdles. But because you've got knowledge from their mistakes, you're now able to complete some of those cycles in double, or in half the time, whereas they were doing double time or even taking much, much longer. So what does this take? This takes for you to let go of a lot of self-pride, because I've learned that one of the things that prevent you from learning from others is thinking that you are a know-it-all. And being a know-it-all stems from the spirit of pride. So you have to let that go, humble yourself, and have that teachable spirit so that you can be a lifelong learner, right? It's not that now I'm in my 30s, I know everything. Life is always evolving. There's always something to learn. So it's important to have that humility, that where you can say, okay, now that I've learned, what is it that I don't know that I still have to get to know? Who can I get to know it from? And it doesn't have to be the people who are around you all the time. With us growing up, we didn't have social media. I mean, we were on the cusp of internet when we were teens. So that wasn't really a thing. You really had to know someone or read a book or get an encyclopedia or go to the library to get information or knowledge. But nowadays, there's social media. The internet has grown by leaps and bounds. You can get free information without having to buy information and learn from that. So, yeah, to propel you forward in life and also to get through life much faster and actually win at this game, give yourself the space and allow yourself to learn from others, so that the pains of life, the prosperities of life don't always have to be from your own experience, because that takes time. Learn from others.